for Cap Market. If you can launch for me. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And just a few words about the book. It's titled Unbroken, the tale of the Brazil's terror attack survivor. It's narrated in the form of a daily journal, painstakingly penned by Nidhi. This is the true story of grit and willpower and will reach out to millions of people with its enduring message of positivity and the infinite ability of the human spirit to triumph against all odds. Let's proceed to the book launch.
Nidhi, you do me a great honor. And I must say, Nidhi is, apart from a colleague, is a very dear friend. It is a great honor to do this. Thank you very much, Nidhi.
A good round of applause for Nidhi Chaphekar. Let's proceed to the session. Ms. Nidhi was the face of the Brazil's blast. And today she is a symbol of hope and courage. And I would like to begin the session with a few quotes which I read in the book. Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. It's profound.
That's correct.
And another quote by Ernest Hemingway. The world breaks everyone, and afterward, many are strong at the broken places.
That's so true.
Absolutely. All right, Nidhi, my first question to you.
Hello.
What is your recollection of that fateful day and the harrowing experience? Does the image still haunt you, or have you been able to make peace with whatever happened?
For that particular day, I think everybody knows that what had happened. I saw the first blast myself, but it was far. And the second one, I didn't know that it's going to take me to another death experience. But, forgetting about that moment, I would say, I have very much beautiful moments of that day too. People putting their lives in danger were saving us. We were more than 300 of us, those who were injured, and about 32 who lost their lives. And I saw both the angles of humanity that day. Hatred is just this much, but the compassion, love, harmony was, to an extent where I cannot even explain to that. So that I would like to say that I'm so thankful had those people not have been there. I don't think so that today I would be here sitting in front of you and would be just doing the honors to open the book.
So you don't have any hatred in your heart whatsoever?
If you have to move forward in your life, there are two things you have to follow. Move with the time. Second is that if you have to go ahead in your life, past, yes, is your past. But why are you making your present, that, I would say, not, it's like you're making it fearful. You're not making it, letting it go away. So if you have to move forward in your life, you have to think of the past memories which were good to you, which will boost the energy within you to go forward in life, which will give you motivation to be ahead in life, to stand somewhere where would you want to. क्योंकि अगर आप दिल में कोई चीज़ ऐसी रखते हो तो नए thoughts आ ही नहीं सकते. You have to make those fade away, and then only you can have the collection of the beautiful new memories.
You have beautifully put that in your book. A heart full of fear has no place for dreams.
That's correct.
Yes. Now, just going back to that moment again, you have said in your book after the first blast, you saw a crowd running towards you. You heard a loud beseeching call, perhaps to his God, from a man standing just a few steps away. And that moment you realized what it was and you thought this was the end. That must have been a very harrowing experience. I mean, the moment, can you describe it in your own words?
Yes, as I said, the first blast was about that pillar way, and I could not gauge what it was that time. And I thought, being an air hostess, we've been given trainings for to handle different experiences, like, maybe a lithium battery blast or a laptop blast or, any medical emergency. So the first thing I thought is it's a lithium battery, explosion. But when the crowd, 1,000 people started running towards us, I thought, no, it is something, but still I wanted, because we are humans, still I'm being a first aid, I wanted to go and help those people. Maybe they need my help, maybe I'm able to make them, survive further for a few more minutes. And by the time I was thinking, it was just here, there was another man who yelled his last call out in the form of whatever I cannot describe that. And I thought, that's it. That's my end. And the first thing, being a mother, it came to my mind is, I have children, yes. So take care of them. And I just tried to run away, but it was too late for me because the bag of 25 kgs RDX was just next to me.
You were thrown a few feet away, and I think you were unconscious.
Yes. What happened when I took the turn, I was carrying 3 different bags with me because it was a 5-night day stop. And they are like rollers, so I was just moving and he pressed the detonator in that particular time and I just flew like a football. Somebody kicks you and you're thrown into a heat of that sun, okay? You feel like you're melted. The explosion sound was so high that now you can hear me. I could not even hear my own self. It was that bad. It was just, I still have problem like tinnitus I have perforated ears. There's not much more to that. And I flew, I landed, and it was just, first it was light and then it was black. And that's it. I landed on my feet and I said, oh, it was a bomb blast like that. I felt behind and my head opened up into 2 pieces from behind. And the last thing, while I was down on the floor, I was telling God, my son is going through an 8th board exam. Make sure he's able to give all. He should not have his year, wasted because it was and I said, they should not get affected. Even if I'm not there, the first thing, Mom, being as, I won't say, we all have those kind of hearts, but when you're particularly a माँ का दिल ऐसा होता है कि it just goes to that बच्चे. So I was just thinking that give them that courage to, even if I'm not there, to survive and to, a healthy life.
That's very emotional actually. I'm a mother and I can totally relate to your experience. In fact, when you were unconscious, your subconscious mind kept telling you to survive because you had your kids waiting for you, and it actually pulled you back to consciousness.
Yes, that's the energy. That's the energy. There are 2 things in my book which I always, when I read, I get more energy. One is while I was lying down, I don't know whether my heart was beating at that moment or no, but one thing was coming in my mind. Nidhi, utho. Nidhi, come on, get up. You have to give a call. You have to give a call. They will find you somewhere. It was just myself, and I was giving myself hope. And I opened my eyes. It was dark. I could not see anything. And when I saw, when I sat down, I could only see limbs. I could see bodies. I could see I'm in the dead pool, which is full of blood. Now to have that heart, if I'm here, if I survived, it's only because of thinking about that I wanted to live only because of them. And that gave me courage. And another, in the book, on the 30th of March, when they tried to, make me come back into my conscious, you know what they did, doctors? Doctors said that she's going through so much that her lungs are full of water. Her bloodstreams are extremely, it's got infected. Her blood pressure is so high. She's got 105 fever. And there were multiple other things, like my heart stopped pumping at one time. They had to give me shocks to revive me back. They said if she is alive, is because she wants to live. So why we will try to revive her back, I don't know who she loves the most. We will try. So they asked my husband to come in the ICCU room, and they said that try calling everyone now and make sure that she listens to that. From my parents to my children to everybody call me. And when it came to my daughter's voice, I'm very close to her, and she started saying, "Mom, I know you're fine, you will be back, and I know that it's just nothing has happened to you." My, eyes started fluttering, and my husband told my daughter that keep on speaking. So she thought that, what to speak. So I don't watch television much, so she started talking about one of the channel that this is what has happened and things, and my entire body started shaking, and everything went so haywire that they asked, okay, fine, she's not in a position to get up, she's not in a position, and they put me in induced coma back again. So this is the kind of power the children have, or we have, the connect as a parent with our children.
That's so true. You were in a state of induced coma for 23 days.
That's correct.
And you have come back from a near-death experience.
Yes.
Like you say in your book, on 13th April, which is Baisakhi in the Punjabi calendar, you first opened your eyes and everybody said that was your rebirth. So how has it changed you as a person, and how has that changed you to change your outlook towards life?
Earlier, I was only thinking about my job, my home, my family, my children. It's everything mine, But after this incident, now nobody of my family, my home, my community, I would say, or my corporate was there. Who helped me? It was human beings, humanity. It was them. So I thought, why not giving this gesture back to them? If I will start that, it will multiply. Because when you have a ripple effect, when you put something, even with your finger in water, it started having the ripple effect. So I thought of spreading compassion. I thought of spreading love, peace. I thought of making ourselves realize, because we have so much of energy in ourselves that if we try to generate that, there is nothing which can stop you from achieving something. And that's what my motto in life has become. I started thinking that you all are my family, rather than just fixed to, those 4 or 15 people.
And one more quote from your book. You say, "Revenge is not the answer. I firmly believe sow seeds of love, care, unity and peace, and let the coming generation reap the fruits of kindness, forgiveness, strength and progress." That's profound.
Thank you. Because without that, you cannot have it. Earlier I never used to read. Now I've started reading. I won't say I'm a reader, but yes, I've started reading a bit, which gives me satisfaction. So I was reading about one thing about in Japan, when they have to make a tree, okay? We normally here cut the tree, we make the tree, vanish away. They don't do that. What they do is thousands of people stand nearby that tree and they started, telling, "You are worth nothing. You are useless. Why don't you go away, die?" When you start posing that, and in a week's time, that tree automatically comes down. That is the power you have. That being, I won't say it's a living thing, that can also hear you. Imagine we, as putting something like that to our community, our children, our brothers, sisters, everybody, how much effect are we creating? So that is the thing I started. I said, no, hate is not the answer. Eye to an eye is not the answer. The thing is why this happened. The thing is not that why it happened to me. It could have been somebody else. But I'm glad that it happened to me because I'm able to survive. I'm able to take something positive out of it and spread that. And that's the thought of thinking.
Do you believe in destiny? And do you believe that this incident has taken you closer to your calling in life?
Yes, I somehow do believe in destiny because this flight was not mine. And I was fighting for this flight for 1 month. I did everything possible that I should get this flight. Now what would you call that? Wouldn't you call this a destiny? आप जब ऊपर से आते हो ना, कुछ तो आप लिखवा के लेके आते हो कि ऐसा तो होगा. आप कैसे पहुंचोगे? I don't know. But after that is your thing starts, how you want to take this, you know. So destiny, yes, it was destined. And I think it was destined, and God said, now what? Now tell me what you want to do with that. And I chose the other path. As I said, I chose the compassion path. I came closer towards because that was my monotonous life. I won't say boredom life, but it was just a routine every day, same things. But now it's different. I think bigger. So, you know, it has given me something to, like I was mentioning someone in the morning that now I want to live every moment. I saw some lady I met, Sarika Mehta, you all must be knowing, and I said, agar ye bike chala sakti hai to main kyun nahi? And you know, I have a problem with my leg. I cannot have, you know, certain angles. But I said no. I told my husband, "Mujhe chalani hai. I want to." He said, "Okay, fine." He will not say no. I learned by him. Then he told me, "Now what next?" I said, "I want to have more focus. I want to, you know, something to do with, which was unexpected." He said, "Now what?" I said, "I want to learn, you know, rifle shooting." I started that, and believe you me, give me 2 years, I will get you a gold medal in that. India, definite for sure. So that is what it is. I've started thinking different.
You know, you have given a positive twist to everything, and you know, that's, I think, really how we all need to live. And you know, there are a lot of life lessons to learn from you.
Actually, what happens is we learn from each other, but it is sometimes something happens. Now, had that not been happened with me, you people would have not given that much of attention as you're giving today. It is normal, it is natural. Some people are born with that, I won't say disability, but special abilities, right? We normally put them in a special category, but we don't learn from them. I learned from them because I was sitting in that wheelchair for so long, and I said, if they can face it from childhood, why can't I face it? I have to come out of it. And it is something not to put yourself in a, I would say, situation where you feel that it's not ease. It's okay. I'm able to see that. If you cannot see that, go away from here. It's okay. And there is nothing that, you don't have to correct someone. You don't have to say, why are you looking at me like this? I was just telling Vani, you in the morning, that yesterday when I was coming from Bombay, the lady sitting next to, the departure lounge, and she said, "Aapke haathon ko kya hua? What happened to your hands?" And I said, "Meko tattoo nahi karana tha, maine snake ka skin laga liya." It's just the matter of, putting yourself in different parts. Oh, people still notice me. If somebody is noticing you, you are important. And believe you me, somebody is noticing you. So you all are important. And that's how we learn from each other.
Another beautiful quote from the book. When we meet real tragedy in life, we can react in two ways. By losing hope and falling into the pit of destruction, or by using the challenges to find our inner strength. We all have it within us.
Yes, we all have it within us, because we all are, why did I say that? Because now, what is the difference between us and animals? We have something special. We have the ability to think. We have the ability to speak. We have ability to generate. We have ability to create. We have the ability to do anything which is impossible. right? Nobody had thought years back that we would have light. Nobody had thought years back we would have aircrafts. This is the ability, you have it, and that's why we are different. It's only that we fail to understand our own self. They don't give that much of importance to our own self. Try to give and see how much you have in yourself, and you every day you will say, wow, मैं ऐसा हूँ, and you yourself will start loving it.
And this is after your journey of recovery, you wanted to go back to the same place again exactly after 1 year, and now you have described that experience beautifully in the book, where you had a lot of deja vu moments, the same things happening all over again, and there was a lot of fear in your heart, but you were able to overcome that and said life must go on, things cannot happen twice. So, and then the moment when exactly after 1 year you went to Brussels and sat on the same chair where your photograph was taken. Can you describe that moment in your own words?
Actually, I was invited by the King of Belgium and the Prime Minister of Belgium to attend the co-memorial. And King of Belgium, I had to go for, to explain it to him, because he said when I went to the hospital, you were so much injured that, but what we related in the photograph, you were not that injured. So I am unable to understand how did you make it to that level. So I said, okay, so we explained everything, and then there was another channel who wanted to record everything in the, they wanted to make a documentary. And they said that, would you be comfortable, we will take you to the same place at the same airport a day prior. That was 22nd it had happened, so 21st of March 2017. I said, first I thought, no. Then I thought, it's okay, I have to just pass through. What I had collected from that place, I have to give it back to that place, and I will come back. That's what I thought. And I went, I was in tears, I could not speak. I had, my legs were shivering, but I stood there. There was earlier the bird statue there, which I think also saved many people's lives, because it was a huge statue of brass, which took all the impact, I would say. And then they made me sit on the same chair. When I was sitting over there, the memories were just coming back and back again. And I thought, I can't live with it. I have to leave this year. So I gave a thought. I said, this building was entirely collapsed. This airport was entirely collapsed. There was moments stopped for a month, but later they renovated it. Later they gave it a new description to this building, and yes, they have beautiful memories of people, on the wall. Why can't I just do this to my heart? Take the beautiful memories with me and just let this awful thing, or the, I would say, the devastated thing, what has happened to you, the pain-striking thing, leave it here, dump it here. So I did that. And after that, as you asked me, that picture or that moment doesn't haunt me, because I have buried that there, and I have taken the new birth from that there.
That's wonderful. With your permission, I would like to read this excerpt from the book about your experience. In her own words, I sat on the chair for a few minutes, watching some kids playing nearby. Life must go on, I told myself. I must leave all the negatives behind and reach out only for positive energy. I prayed to God. I can't ask so much in words, but you have to listen to my silent heart. I took the example of the building itself. It had been totally damaged and reduced to a rubble, but with everyone's efforts, it had been reconstructed and made much more beautiful. In the same way, I must rebuild myself with encouraging thoughts. Holding the handrails, I prayed to God to give me strength to get up from the same chair today with no regrets, and look forward to a fresh start and a new beginning. Beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nidhi, you are a messenger of love and humanity. And you are a TEDx speaker, a social activist, and a motivator. Can you tell us more about the kind of work you do or you want to do in the future?
the kind of work I do is it starts from them, and they say that when you sow a seed, you must keep on watering it, right? And then only it will turn into a plant and then a big tree, right? So what I've started is I go to different schools. I've been invited by Godrej, Kirgam, you talk about, I've started from Dharavi schools where people don't like to go. People would want to, they say, nahi nahi, jagah achhi nahi hai. It's not about jagah, it's all about humans. I have given the equal rights from my end to everyone, so I gave a lot of talks to them. What I do is I ask them questions. If you have any fears in you, how can you come out of it? What can you do next to do that? I'm not a counselor, I'm not a psychologist, but the way I have handled it, it's okay to give my example. It's okay to expose myself. I cannot be exposed more than I was. So it's fine. I'm giving the best of me, to those people. And then I've been called recently by L&T for doctors, 1,500 doctors under one roof. Then I did a lot of sessions for obstetricians, doctors, about 2,000 Taj. Different organizations. I'm going to Jaipur. I'm doing multinational, companies. I'm going for there because every person today is just thinking about how stressful we are, how the life is stressful. But we are failing to understand it's not the life which is stressful. It is what we as humans, we are making it very stressful. I just read, I'm very fond of reading thoughts in the morning, so I read one thought and it says that a person went to the church or to the temple or to the dargah or to the masjid, whatever you want to call it, okay, and asked the Almighty, you know what, give me the best in life, give me the best in life. And what answer Almighty gave him? He said, I have given you the best and that is life. So that is life. So I have started from there. So I want to do everything possible to make this life meaningful so that people, even after I'm no more, they say, how we, sometime recall our moments, yes, she was the one, or I follow. This is the instinct of hers, and that's what I do. I generate power in people because you have it, it's just, you want to ignite it. I don't have to do anything.
I liked what you said. I have given you the best, and that is life.
Yeah.
I think gratitude is the key to living happily.
That's
I think.
correct.
Yeah. And coming to gratitude, you, after your recovery, you went back and thanked everyone who were a part of your journey to recovery. And you went back to the same hospital again and met the doctors, the nurses. So how was the feeling then?
It was a wonderful feeling because they always, they had given their best of time, they had given their best of experience. I had also written one of, you cannot thank them because apart from your families, they are the ones who are there. And one wrong decision of theirs can take your life away. One neglect from them is going to put blunders in your life. So it was very important for me because ab ilaj kara ke aa jate ho, then we forget to give them, that gratitude. So from the person who lifted me from ground, Paul Henry, from the person who was there with me, Alan Zarkari, from the person who was there in the ambulance with me, the person who I could not find for 3.5 years. I delayed my book because of that, because I had that hope that I will find this person. We made a sketch of the person, how he looked like, because I knew why. Because he was taking care of one of the babies who was next to me, about 10 years old boy, and he was giving his best to revive that small child. And I said, Patani, maybe he may be alive, he may be in that conscious or subconscious mind, I don't know, maybe he's in trauma. It's very important to tell him that you did your best apart from whatever has happened. And we made this sketch. I requested the BTM channel to put this Skype interview everywhere, and finally I found him. So I found everyone and I thanked them, because it's very, very, very important what you give that comes back to you. If you give blessings, that will come back to you. You're giving gratitude, that will also come back to you. So it's important for every person. It doesn't matter whether you know them or you don't know them. When you go in the morning, when you're crossing by someone, always say good morning. It's okay. Hi, Jai Mata Di, whatever you want to call it. But do call it, because that touch of theirs is going to come back to you and heal you. Believe you, it will heal you.
And this person, you have called him the mystery man in your previous interviews. And I'm glad you found him. And you said it was a coincidence that you found him after 3.5 years. Okay.
Lurk Lowell. And he's become a Baptist now. He said that day I learned that there is more to the life, and he became a Baptist. He's doing a course. You need to do a course to be a Baptist. He will be soon in the churches, giving good talks to people and lessons.
And one more very heartening moment I read in the book, when you went back to the hospital again and caught the first glimpse of the hospital. You shouted out like a kid, saying, "That's my hospital." You know, that was the love and affection you received from them.
Yes, I did, because I had not seen my hospital from, you normally follow the both signs, and I was in the ambulance when I was out from the hospital, strapped like this. And when I went back after a year, exactly after a year, I saw, I am here, my hospital, like a baby. You shouted, and every small thing I used to just say, wow, thank you for the moment.
That shows that you still have the child inside you.
Yes, if you will not have the child inside you, I don't think so you can grow ever in your life, because आपने बच्चे को कभी देखा है, इतनी जिद करते हैं, तभी वो इतने आगे बढ़ जाते हैं, हमारी तरह मायूस नहीं हो जाते हैं.
Yeah, that's very true. And Nidhi, coming back to the book, what inspired you to write the book? And did you think you had an obligation to share your experiences and insights with the world, so that anyone who is undergoing the same thing, or trauma and violence, can learn from your experience, learn to move forward?
In my book, I have written that yet still today, I'm unable to recollect dates, years, sometimes names, sometimes words. I have a problem after that. I won't call it a problem, but it is just that I'm not paying that much of attention to get it back, right? I will soon overcome that also. So, I used to ask, Acha, is din kya hua tha, what had happened? And I had a calendar, and my hands could only move up to here because of my graph, so I used to write, okay, like this, So my mom, my sister, my family members, my husband, what are you writing? I said, I'm trying to recollect, okay, this has happened on that day, they said, why don't you write something? I said, you people know everything, I know now everything, why you want to? He said, maybe your children would want to know, maybe your grandchildren would want to know, maybe their friends would want to know. But I said, it's going to be a thesis. He said, it's okay, just do it. Karam karo, phal ki ichha mat karo. Just do it. You never know who would want to read this. So when I started writing it, what had happened was that I got so involved in it that I enjoyed what I was writing. I enjoyed it. Oh, this has happened on that day, and today look. So I was myself getting energized with that energy, or from here, I'm here today, And then I approached Amaryllis, Manjul approached us, and we came out, with this, that yes, we will publish the book on this year, and they themselves then like, wow, it's a wonderful thing. And believe you me, in 2 months we've got into Dutch language, which I'm going to go in March to do that in Netherlands and in Belgium. French is coming up soon. In Canada it will be released soon. So I didn't know that kind of a power this book would have. Now comes to that obligation to write the book. No, there was no obligation. But yes, what happens is that we sometimes only talk about what negative has happened to us, right? And we forget that there is something positive also coming up. So we only talk about negative. दांत में कुछ चढ़ जाता है तो ऐसे से we keep on doing it, right? We never relish that other 31, they are perfectly doing fine. So I wanted to write it just to give myself, to my family, to this family of mine, to my extended family and everybody, that look, life is a period of up and down. It's okay. it's okay to share your experience because that's how you're going to gain. Mathematics का teacher अगर आपके साथ formula share नहीं करेगा ना, आपको कभी mathematics नहीं आ सकता. But you have to understand that formula to solve that equation, and that's what I did. The formula is the same. Believe in yourself, have good faith and hope. You will be able to jump to anything.
That's very true. And the book is full of such life-affirming, positive quotes that I think everybody should read it.
Thank you, Vani.
And are there any more motivational books in the pipeline?
Yes, I did something which was very, I won't say unusual, but which was not expected neither by my family nor by my organization, which is something which I'm going to now start penning it down, and by 2021 I think it should be out, and you will see that very soon. Thank you so very much.
We will look forward to that.
Thank you gentlemen and ladies and everybody. Thank you for your time.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's open the session to audience Q&A, and yeah, please.
There's two things. One is request and one is a question. So the first request is that you told that your book is being translated into a lot of languages. तो हम सब ये चाहेंगे कि आप हिंदी में भी उसको ट्रांसलेट करें.
हिंदी में, मराठी और हिंदी में मई फर्स्ट वीक में आ रही है.
अच्छा, आ रही है.
जरूर आ रही है. ये थोड़ी डिले कर दी मैंने अपनी वजह से, नहीं तो शायद साथ ही आ जाती.
क्योंकि आपका ऑडियंस थोड़ा बढ़ जाएगा उसकी वजह से, और बहुत सारे ऑडियंस हैं.
Thank you.
सेकंड थिंग इज व्हाट मैसेज यू लाइक टू गिव टू the planners of that attack. I mean, someone would have planned that attack, right? Something like that. So what is the message? They must be listening to you for sure, I'm sure about that. So what message you would like to give to them?
अगर उनमें इतनी कैपेसिटी होती ना कि वो मैसेज को सुन सकते, तो वो ये कभी नहीं करते. That means they are weak. It is nothing related to the religion, it is nothing related to us. It is they are weak by mind, by heart, and they cannot see that तुम लोग इतना अच्छा कर रहे हो. So what they do is, this is something I would call it hatred. They have hatred, we don't have. हम अपने घर में एक छोटा सा डॉग भी लेके आते हैं, कितना ख्याल रखते हैं. Do we do such things to our dogs, animals? No, not even to street dogs. We go and give food, not even to the beggars. They are not even related to us. It's okay. They are humans. They don't have the mind, sir. We need only one thing, that to put them in centers where they should be given training, how to read mind, how to develop your mind. They have not been developed. Thank you.
Like to say in your book, first strengthen your mind before you take up any religion.
That's a good question. Anybody else?
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Nidhi ma'am. I don't have a question for you, but I want to read few lines for you. शक्ति का रूप है वो, है ममता की परिभाषा, दर्द उसे तोड़ ना सके, उसे प्यार निभाना आता.
How sweet. That's so
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And मैं भी एक राइटर हूँ मैम. I have a daughter of 9-year-old and I wrote a book of early sunrise, early sunset based on North East India, East India, being a solo woman traveler. So कल क्या हुआ कि जब मैंने न्यूज़पेपर में आपके बारे में पढ़ा कि आप आ रही हैं, और आपके जस्ट वन पैराग्राफ पढ़ा, आई वाज रियली मोटिवेशनल. इट इज स्टोरी, इट इज ऑफ कोर्स ट्रू स्टोरी कि मतलब ऐसा भी होता है लाइफ में. अभी तो मेरे पास बहुत सारे लाइक मेरे हस्बैंड है, मेरी बेटी है जो इज ऑलवेज बी विद मी, आई कैन ट्रैवल अलॉन्ग विद मतलब अलोन, राइट. बट आपकी स्टोरी के बाद मुझे बहुत मोटिवेशन रियली मतलब बहुत ही मज़ा आया आपकी बात सुन के. और I can say that definitely I want to buy a book, this book I want to read, and I want to tell to my baby also that कि हमें जो मैम है मतलब मैंने भी जब ट्रैवल शुरू करा था, I meet lot of people and I really realized that हाँ I always miss my driver that who really always help me, and my husband is always in trouble कि कुछ होना चाहिए उसके साथ while she is traveling alone, but I always say no, he is from my country. So आपकी स्टोरी के बाद मुझे और मोटिवेशन आता है. I'm really glad to hear you, ma'am.
Thank you so very much. Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
I would say that you should read the lines from my book, because when you read your own story, it is just that you want to read the entire book. But it may, involve you when you start, maybe open any page and you read one paragraph, it will try and put you, involve you in, and that's what it is. If you would allow me, definitely full book I will read.
And the book, she has penned it in the chronological order, and it's like a journal where she describes all the experiences. So it's a beautiful read.
I just want to say that I dedicated this book to, and there were so many suggestions coming from, I would say, I always took the suggestion of the publication house because it is their, bread and butter, they know much more about it. And they say, nahi, I said, nahi, abhi to mujhe yahi dedicate karna hai. Bahut, matlab, aisa hota tha, they used to tell me, nahi, dedicate to, the military or to say, I said, that is there, I have written that. But I want to dedicate it to someone. Had they not given me birth, I would have not been here. So I said, Mom and Dad, for bringing me into this world, God's blessings that ensured that I tied the knot with Rupesh, who has weathered the storms of my life, brought along with a smile, and the God's love that bestowed upon us two precious boons, Vardhan and Riddhi, my support system and my strongest source of motivation. That's what I can say, that I've read this book to summarize everything of me as how I am. Anyone else would like to ask anything? I'm there. Yes, please, sir.
Ma'am, in this incident, there were 5 suspects. You must be knowing that. There were 5 suspects, and 3 of them blew themselves.
Yes.
There were two who were in prison.
Yes.
So, would you make an attempt to meet them? And
yes, I've already put an attempt, a plea, that please I would want to meet them, because the question gentleman asked here, I always have that what motivates them. It is a motivation for them to come to this level where they're able to give their own life. आप कुछ भी कर लोगे, लेकिन you will not give your own life. This is something, what is the depth of that? How can we read minds? I know. But every time I go every year, now also I'm going on the 17th, coming back on the 23rd of March. But every year they deny, and the rules of Europe are such, if the person doesn't want to meet you, you cannot forcefully meet the person. It has to be coming from them. I really want to meet.
But it will be very different from how you had gone back to the place and then you met the regular people. This is if you're going to a prison and you're going to meet the real perpetrators behind the attack. So do you think you're ready for that?
I'm ready for that. You should always be open to anything and everything, and then only you'll be able to handle everything.
And you're going to tell them that you got injured, that you almost died because of this?
Yeah. See, it could be a reason. Bus accident होता है, उसमें हम driver को बोल देते हैं कि उसने पिया था, या something has happened, but maybe that was destined to happen. Some other thing happened, avalanche just comes. That what do we do? Now we cannot. It was a reason he made, a reason for me to be here, maybe a rebirth or people, those who died. But why? The question is why. So I want to ask that why question, not why I was there, why he did that, why this thing took place, and why things are taking place every day should be the question. If we ask ourselves that मैं क्यों थी, फिर आप उतने ही जगह पे रह जाएंगे, आगे जाने पे. लेकिन ये क्यों हुआ? Then you will be able to understand what was the problem behind it.
The last question.
Yes, please.
See, you became very famous after the photograph, and we all know you from that.
Yes.
So when did you see the photograph first?
I saw the photograph on the, if I'm not mistaken, 17th of April. When my husband asked, that how we came to know. And I had no clue about it. And he said there was a photograph of yours which within 10 to 15 minutes was all over social media and it became the iconic picture. And I said, no, I don't know. And when he showed me, the first thing I was just looking at was my face, because that shows that I was still looking for hope. I was showing that courage to stand there, to give love to people, to give strength to them that okay, and I did that. People, those who were leaving, and they were saying, "Hum mar jayenge, we will be no more." I said, if we have survived till here, we will be able to. I was asking God, sitting over there, that why did you do this? We don't require this. We only require something is from your end, do something good. Take these things away from us because we don't want it. We want to live a very beautiful and a simple life as you have given us a very beautiful and a very precious life. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Ajit Agte and I'm a retired jet airways pilot. I have no questions for Nidhi, but I'd like to tell the audience what a pleasure it used to be to fly with her as the lead cabin attendant over there. And one of my last trips I did with her was to New York. I wonder if you remember that.
I don't remember, but yes, I have done a lot of flights. You can tell me.
It was always a pleasure having Nidhi at the back with us.
Thank you, Governor.
Good round of applause, please. I would like to be on the same flight with you someday.
Definite for sure. Definite.
We can take one or two more questions.
Hi, I'm really happy to see you here and after all the things you've been through. I myself have been in a bomb blast like this was way in 1998. But luckily I know my uncle sort of like came to the rescue and we were able to escape from there. My question would be like, do you still, if there's a bombing anywhere in the world, do you feel that sense of like why is this still happening? I've been through this. Do you still have some of the thoughts that go in your mind?
You cannot stop things from happening, but you can reduce it. Kam kar sakte hain sab. If we all started thinking towards one goal, that this should not happen, believe you me, if everybody gives that positive energy to that level, it will not happen. I have that heart. After my incident, if you remember, there was a child whose picture was taken, died in an ambulance, okay, from Syria. And the question was asked to me, how are you feeling? Because this child picture we have taken is the same, I think that's in my book also, okay? It's something similar to yours. He doesn't know, he was dazed. I said, whose fault is it? Is it a children's fault, child's fault? That did we take any permission from the child? Is it not going to haunt him every time because he's such a small creature? He's not even grown. So I have that feeling, and that's why I have become one of the counselor, one of the board members of two different NGOs, one from Booston and one from the other, those who give, and I'm not a member I would say, but yes, I do a lot of conferences. I've just been to Nice, sponsored by United Nations, and I become one of the face over there to share my experience with those who are the, I won't say victims, but the survivors of different terror attacks of the world, and I give them a different sense to look up to life, what is life is, and they are also doing, believe you me, they are also doing tremendous work to let these things go away from here, and we all are putting so much of effort, and I hope one day when our children will grow up and they'll feel proud of ourselves and will say, yes, if they would have not done this, we would have not been here today, safe and sound.
Last question.
Congrats, Nidhi. My name is Vinay.
Hi.
A couple of things. I hope the book does really well.
Thank you.
And you seem to be providing a lot of positive messages in the book also.
Thank you.
Looking at the narrative in the book, would you say that life is all about comebacks, second chances?
Okay. How many people today we take risk? I just want you to raise your hands. How many people do you take risk? Okay, most of us we take risk. We drive a car. Aren't we taking a risk? We're climbing down the stairs. Aren't we taking a risk? Because it is an everyday life for you. You don't feel it is a risk. Life is a risk. If we manage to understand that, it is a risk. I have to do it. I will share one experience which is not in the book. Not in the book. It is my personal experience. Me, my husband, my children, we went in 2009, May, to Switzerland, Interlaken. And my husband was on the side of one of the Alps that, you have that water coming from the Alps. It's a big kind of, I won't say lake, it's a stream, big stream. So it was just flowing and there were ducks over there. My child, Vardhan, he was 2002, so 7 years, right? He was giving or feeding French fries from McDonald's to those little ducks and swans over there. And that got over. So many swans came. And now I said, what to do? We will buy some more. So my husband, he just turned, he said, I'll buy some more, okay? Let them enjoy, children enjoy. And my daughter was scared of water, so she was away. Now my son, what he did, I'll show you. He started pulling the grass like this and putting in water. Now it was so far. That wasn't a risk for me. But what happened? In 2 seconds, my life was standstill for a moment. Because with the grass, he missed his balance and he did how I was thrown on the floor backwards in the water. And the flow of the Alps water was so fast that in seconds you can be drowned. And my husband was 2 feet or 3 feet ahead. And with the flow, he just turned. He had everything overcoat with the boots because it's very cold over there. And I said, Trupesh! Like that, I just, screamed. He didn't know how to swim, but he jumped and I jumped over him and we managed to take both of them out. So I would say sometimes you have to take that risk. Sometimes it is required. The risk is always there. It is going to be there. There is nothing without risk. Nothing.
And I think the greatest risk is not taking any risk.
That's there.
Thank you. That was a wonderful explanation. But I was asking more in terms of an occupational hazard. A lot of things that the crew of airlines undergo. This is something unique that has happened to not many people. So in that sense, you've come a long way after this particular instance. So would it be fair to categorize this as a comeback for you?
Yes, it is a comeback because otherwise, we would categorize that, airline mein bhi aisa hota hai, right? Okay. बस स्टेशंस पे भी ऐसा होता है, ट्रेन्स पे भी ऐसा होता है, एयरपोर्ट्स पे भी ऐसा होता है. Things happen different places. But if you will not show someone to come back, they will not be able to come back. They will not be able to follow you because nobody has done it maybe before. So they would want somebody. Nobody had climbed Mount Everest earlier. Then 1 person, 2 person, then the single amputee and the double amputee Mark Inglis. Mark Inglis is the only double amputee who, climbed the Mount Everest. So he had set that. And now everyone, they will think if he can, why can't I? So it is very important to set example. And it's a comeback. Thank you.
Well said, Nidhi. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Need to just come and give to somebody else.
No, I think we have to end the session. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and all the best, Nidhi.
Thank you so
May you
very
continue
much.
to touch many more lives.
Thank you
and
so
be the
very much.
messenger
You're
of
brilliant.
love and hope. God bless.
Brilliant
Thank you.
audience. Thank you, God.